What up, Hyperchange? Welcome to another episode. Today, I want to mix it up a little and talk about the coronavirus outbreak. Pretty sad, scary subject, but wanted to give you my thoughts on how this will affect financial markets going forward, particular Tesla, which is my biggest investment, and just what I think this means for the world economy in general and how to think about disease outbreaks like this. So the coronavirus started popping up a couple of weeks ago in Wuhan, China. It's an illness sort of like the flu, but people are dying and it's spreading very, very quickly between people. So right now, as of today, there's about 24,000 cases that have been confirmed. Most of these are in China. They actually also confirmed the 12th case in the US today in Wisconsin. And here you can see the map, very concentrated in China, but they're starting to spread around the world. I believe about 24 countries have cases of this so far. 500 people, or nearly 500 people, have actually died from the disease, all but 2 of those in China so far. So this is a very scary sort of new era problem to happen, sort of like out of a sci-fi movie. This crazy disease is spreading like wildfire throughout the world almost. And this is what happens. We have a super interconnected global economy. People are flying everywhere all of the time. The world's smaller than ever because of transportation technology, which means diseases like this can spread faster than ever. And what makes this so interesting and sort of dangerous and scary is that there's actually a 2-week incubation period for the coronavirus. So you may not actually even be showing symptoms. You may have no idea you have it but you may be spreading it to everybody you come in contact with. And then 2 weeks later, you start to get sick and realize that you have coronavirus. So that's why the governments are taking radical actions to sort of quarantine people, stop them from traveling. Everything on Wuhan is on lockdown, radical precautions, and if it continues spreading, could actually have a pretty sizable impact into the global economy. And China's stock market has already been feeling some of the results of this. And I think a lot of this is, it hasn't, 24,000 people sounds like a lot, but it hasn't really affected a huge piece of the economy, but it's the potential threat to what could happen. Because if you think about it, there's planes out of Wuhan, people are going to start flying. This means airlines stop making money because people aren't buying plane tickets, people aren't going out for food, people aren't buying taxis. It's a huge drag to the economy when you have everybody locked down, staying inside. So I think that's a first big part of the friction. The second is we're so interconnected and dependent on China for so many different things. And when I think about Tesla in particular, we're going to get to their Tesla Gigafactory in Shanghai and how that's being affected in a second. But even beyond that, on their conference call, they mentioned there could even be potential supply hiccups in Fremont, California if this continues, because they supply parts from China. And so if all of China shuts down, they don't want to bring parts from China. They're going to stop the supply chain. That could even interrupt. And that's not just Tesla, that's many different US companies who are sourcing things from China could be in trouble, and it could be a delay. Additionally, Gigafactory 3 Shanghai, I believe is being shut down temporarily. There's some rumors they want to open it up around February 10th, but who knows? I wouldn't get my hopes up about that. But so, in the short run, this is already starting to be a minor hiccup in the Chinese economy, nothing really impacting the global economy yet. But if it continues to spread, people continue to get worried about this, and governments take more and more serious action, this could be a serious sort of like quarter-long hiccup in the global economy. I mean, this could make the stock market go down. There's been several times with like SARS and Ebola when financial markets started freaking out about diseases like this. Then they bounced back pretty quickly after everything coming past. But now this has actually already killed more people than SARS. It looks like it's continuing to spread like crazy. So if it continues to spread, I think it's important to realize that this could have pretty serious consequences into the financial markets. But personally, I'm not getting too concerned about it. I'm a very long-term investor. I think society is very smart. Yes, we're more interconnected and traveling more than ever, but we're communicating faster than ever. Our ability to solve and tackle these challenges is better than ever. We're more educated than ever. There's already a bunch of biotech companies working to get vaccines for this disease. I think, although there are a lot of deaths, the actual death rate of the disease of 4 to 5% right now isn't actually that like insanely high of a death rate. So even though it is super easy to spread, it's not like you're automatically going to die if you get this disease. It's people die, a couple percentage of people actually die from the common cold as well. So it's important to keep that in mind. This is like sort of a really bad, easily spreadable version of the flu that's going around. That's kind of how I would think about the coronavirus. So I just think it's something that's fascinating to keep your eyes on, and if it continues spreading, can totally impact some of your investments. I mean, I think I was planning on Tesla significantly ramping up their deliveries for the Chinese Gigafactory in Shanghai this quarter. I think that's going to be there's going to be a hiccup there. It's going to have to get pushed back a little bit. Am I worried? Is that going to change the long-term trajectory of the company? Totally not. Does it matter? Not at all if in the long term as of this point, but it is important to keep in mind, and I think it's super important to watch closely to make sure that it doesn't continue spreading and doesn't get much worse into some weird dystopian future where we're really locking down transportation, it keeps spreading in the US, we're really locking down travel and commerce. I mean, that could have pretty serious consequences for as ever long as the lockdown occurs on the global economy, on corporate earnings, on the GDP of the country, which could drive down the stock market. And so, I don't know, I think this is a really just sort of crazy, very scary, sort of fascinating thing that's going underway right now that I think everybody should be watching. It's as much interesting from a science perspective as it is from a financial perspective as it is scary. So anyway, I wish everyone the best. If you have family or friends that are dealing with this, that are in quarantine or that are in China, I just wish you all the best because it's just really sad story, honestly. But in the long term, I frankly think the impact to the financial markets, like, we're going to get through this, and I wouldn't worry too much about it like crazy, but there could be a hiccup in the short term. So anyway, those are my thoughts on the coronavirus and how it could impact the financial markets. But who knows? Anybody's guess is as good as mine. Would love to know what you think and how you're analyzing this impact on the global economy in the comments below. I'm going to try and read and respond to all your comments like always. Huge shout out to the Patreon supporters, producers, funding the channel. Got a ton more in the works. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you guys next time. Peace.